simplicity will 10x your focus. Now look, I wasn't even going to make a video today, didn't plan on it, but this shit's so important and kind of relevant to what I'm doing right now that I'll just go ahead and record this for you. So, simplicity will 10x your focus. Like, if you ever been in a situation where you got like 90 plus things to do, the issue with having 90 things to do is that you can't do 90 things. And so what happens is that you spend a lot of brain points on not really even doing anything. You're just spending all your brain points, all your kind of mental energy on effectively nothing. I mean, if all you're doing is trying to figure out, okay, I got 90 things to do, what am I gonna do? They are not gonna get anywhere. There's this thing about someone trying to catch like 2 rabbits. If you're trying to catch 2 hares, you're trying to catch 2 rabbits. The man who tries to catch both gets none. You don't get the left one, you don't get the right one, you get none. Now, rather, let's go through something real quick. The great thing about having 90 plus tasks is that there's always something you can work on. Always. Okay? You don't have to be idle. But again, the downside is, in practice, shit doesn't work. Now the only caveat to this, and really the only reason why you would have 90 tasks, is you're trying to get out of a rut. And that list allows you to build momentum, because you can do this extremely easy task. Maybe you do a medium one after that, and then you go all the way to a hard task. Okay, if you haven't been doing anything productive, this shit will build positive momentum. Now, the issue is, if you're not in a rut anymore, let's say you've gotten out of the rut, this shit will literally just slow you down. Here's why. So, when you try to focus on multiple things at once, you can't really focus on anything, as you just end up being scattered and all over the place. And so what you have to do in order to actually get stuff again is you have to simplify. Okay. Now, so what you really want to do is you got that task list. You want to take that from 90, let's say. You want to go down all the way to 3. Okay. Now this 3 doesn't mean that you can't batch. Okay. You can go like film 3 YouTube videos. And this can count as one task. But what you can't have is 90 tasks. As you really just do 3 core things. This. Okay. This is how you want to roll. 3 tasks, and that's that. Because what this allows you to do is, now, let's say you want to meditate. You want to ready to journal, you want to read, you want to eat properly, you want to work out. Because you only got 3 tasks, it's gonna allow you to actually do these things. And so, it's gonna allow you to do those things, but actually do them well. Because what happens is the following. Everything takes away from everything. Okay? Thing A takes away from thing B, which in turn takes away from A. So, the more stuff you have, the more scattered you are, and so, think about it. If you only focus on A, you'll be really damn good at doing A. But if you add B, if you add C, D, E, now all of a sudden, your focus gets split. And so your capacity for each one of these goes down. Now, here's a problem. in order for you to get more done, in order for you to be more productive, it's not about more. Like, this isn't how you're more productive. You're not more productive by doing more. It's like if you're already going to the gym 3 to 6 times per week, you don't get more muscle from, let's say, doubling that. Like 6 to 12 times per week isn't gonna make more gains than 3 to 6. Okay? It's not. In fact, it's probably gonna make it worse. Also, when you try to do more different things, you don't make more progress. You're just making everything you're doing worse. Think about it. If you got 90 tasks, but you also meditate, what that really does is that instead of you, let's say, meditating for 10 minutes, you'll drop this down to like 5 or even 3, because you got all these tasks that you need to do. Okay? So you just end up making the actual needle moving tasks worse. So you end up just worse off in everything. You make less gains in the gym. Your cardio is worse. Your focus is worse. So literally everything just goes down because you're trying to do too much shit at once. Whereas if all you got is the 3 tasks, now you're brutally clear on what you need to do. Also, you do those tasks, and then you can actually focus on meditating properly. Which, by the way, is gonna have a bigger ROI for your life, instead of you focusing on these small ass tasks. And so I have this rule for myself, which is, right now, I do 3 tasks. Like, I can do more. If I'm done with my 3 core tasks for the day, I can do more. But these are tasks that have to be done no matter what. And what ends up happening when you actually drop this down to 3 is you meditate better, you're more grateful, so you actually end up living life in a way better way. As you stop sacrificing shit like your diet. I mean, there are reasons to do this. Like, if you're just fully focused at work, then sure. But a lot of the time, what I found is the more you add different shit, the more you worry about different shit, the worse your life gets. But you also don't want to simplify it to where you're just doing one thing. Because if all you're doing is work, but your physique goes down, you'll get to a point where you'll hate yourself. Because perhaps you had X amount of muscle, but now you got less. And that kind of de-progress is just gonna feel like complete crap, and that's something you don't want either. And so in my experience, in terms of your habits, it's best that you limit that shit to 10. I do 9 habits, and then I do dopamine detox. And more specifically right now. So I made, and I'll walk this through real quick, because I made a course, and in that course I'm talking about my habits that I used to get out of a rut. Now those are the exact habits that, yes, got me out of a rut. But right now my habit stack is this. So it's shower, which you might ask, why the fuck would you do that? Well, it's just so you're ready for the day. You don't have to worry about fucking brushing your teeth, doing this, doing that, getting ready at all for the rest of the day. You're just fucking good to go. If you need to go handle something, you go handle something. Done. Then meditate. I specifically meditate for 10 minutes. Because once you limit your habits, like, I'm not gonna fail the meditation for 10 minutes now, because I got the entire damn day to meditate for 10 minutes. Whereas if I try to do the 90 tasks, well, I won't have time for meditation in the same way. So that's why I scrapped the 90 tasks. Okay. Shower, meditate 10. Gratitude journal. 3 minutes. The reason why these are the numbers they are, the reason why I meditate for 10 minutes is because that's the point where I'm getting the highest ROI without getting to the diminishing returns. So it's like, I can't stay consistent with 10 minutes of meditation. 15, Probably not. But 10 minutes, I'm consistent. And also, 10 minutes just gives you way better progress than 5 minutes. So that's why I do 10, not 5. I like going more than 10. I get inconsistent and I end up somewhere here. So that's why that's 10. Same thing, ready to journal, 3 minutes, same idea. After that's done, that's essentially the morning routine. Then we get to this concept called the power list. The power list is something that Jack Hopkins talks about, but essentially it's just the three most important needle moving tasks for the day. So there might be like a YouTube video or whatnot. And so I got those 3 tasks. Then I got gym / cardio. So I'm doing a 50-50 split right now. Gym, cardio, I do push-pull legs in the gym, and for the cardio, so I'll do lifting, cardio, lifting, cardio, lifting, cardio. And for the actual cardio, I do intervals. So I do intervals in terms of 4 minutes on, 3 minutes off. And 3 minutes off means just like light cardio. 4 minutes all out, 3 minutes light, and I do 4 rounds of that. Then I do 30 minutes steady state cardio, and then I do, on Saturdays I do 60 minutes of steady state cardio. So right now this is just my favorite workout split ever. You get the gym, you get the cardio, bam, done. Next up, calorie target, which right now I'm running 2.7k calories. And so that's for the daytime. Then it's plan, so it's planning tomorrow's power list. So that I'm actually locked in on, okay, what 3 things will I do tomorrow? Then it's stretch 5. So, gotta stretch, because if you do this amount of working out and you don't stretch, you're fucked. So that's why that's there, and then it's read. And so that's kind of the stack of habits that I got right now. And I limit it to this. Like at some point I had cleaning in there, I had like daylight, so like going outside during the day. Fuck that. Because again, when you add shit like this into the habits, that's gonna take away from the focus. You can use the stretching, it's gonna take away from the reading, the planning, everything. And so, the more shit you add like this, the more tasks you add, the more you increase the likelihood to actually missing something like the calorie target, to actually missing a workout. And that's something you really want to remember. The more shit you have, the higher the likelihood is of actually missing something or messing up. And so that's why it's like, there is this idea that you just stick to the basics. Because, like I had this thought at some point, and it's pretty much, if you do like 20 different tasks, but you miss your workout and the calories, then what the fuck does this matter? Because now you're out of shape. Because now you're effectively out of shape, and you feel mentally like shit. So it doesn't matter that you get 20 tasks done if you miss these. And that's why you gotta simplify your routine, that's why you gotta simplify your tasks, because if you don't, and you got all these things you need to think about, you'll end up losing focus on the shit that actually matters. Okay? And you'll end up doing a bunch of shit, but you end up getting nowhere. And so it's roughly the 80-20 rule. Like, what is the 20% of shit that gives you 80% of the results? Figure this shit out, and then do that. Because the other option is that you do 80% of the shit that gives you 20% of the returns. So that's like having the 90 tasks. You can have 90 tasks, but you're playing the rule the fucking wrong way around. Instead of having 90, choose the 3 tasks that give you 80% of the gain, and just do that. And that's how you get ahead, and that's how you also hit the gym at the same time. And that's how you also meditate for 10 minutes per day. Look, I got a like meditation streak of over 2 months. I haven't missed a goddamn day in 2 months. So this is how you get to that point. Right. Just thought I'd share this because it's something I've been thinking quite a lot about today, and it's really important to understand. Simplicity equals focus. So if you're struggling to get shit done, don't add more stuff. You wanna remove stuff. And that's how you actually work on a shit that matters. Right. That's all I got for you today. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.